your name for day 2.
Detective Jay Carpenter, Jaycarpenter.
All right, thank you. Go ahead, you may continue.
Sir, yesterday when we ended for the day, we were at the point where we were talking about you interviewing the defendant, Darrell Brooks, on November 21st, 2021 at approximately 11 o'clock p.m. Do you recall that?
Objection. I don't think it's being called that name, for the record.
Objection is overruled.
Yes, I do
Grounds
recall
for the
that.
overrule.
Not relevant.
Yeah, it is relevant.
Your Honor, at this point, or I think last night, we asked for State's Exhibit 81 to be admitted into evidence, which is the defendant's statement provided to Detective Carpenter and Detective Stern on November 21st of last year.
And Exhibit 81 is received permission to publish is granted.
Objection.
My notes reflect that it's 25 minutes.
That is correct. Let me get the exact time of it.
Objection. I didn't provide any statement on the 21st.
Jury will disregard the statement by Mr. Brooks. He is not testifying, therefore his statements are not evidence.
And my objection should be noted for the record.
Your Honor, the entire video is 25 minutes and 27 seconds. The state will be playing from 4 minutes and 25 seconds to 14 minutes and 25 seconds.
Thank you. Go ahead.
So before it begins, I just wanted to clarify, we had talked about it last night a little bit. What we are hearing today is the audio interview only, correct?
Objection leading.
Overruled is foundational. She may ask it that way. Go ahead, you may answer, sir.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, thank you.
She's right here, Darrell.
I'll go grab you.
I'll tell you. Tight.
Darrell?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Darrell. I'm Jeremy Wojcicki, the FBI.
FBI.
Yeah.
FBI?
I'm Mary. Yep.
They're just kind of helping out because we're so short-staffed tonight. So
Thank you. Yeah.
that's all it is.
How's your shoulder, right? Is that where
Yeah, well, he said in 4 to 6 weeks I might have to get it because it's still something's wrong. I know.
You bang it up before or something?
Nah, it was just the way they slammed me.
Okay.
Hit the ground, kind of like went up. Boom, boom. That's where the knee came
Your
from.
knee
But,
as well. Okay.
yeah, but the shoulder, I know something's wrong.
Yeah.
He said 4 to 6 weeks, the MRI won't be able to tell if anything's torn or anything like that. So
Okay.
FBI though.
We help out our local partners all the time. This is just something that we're here to help out
Because
with.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, believe it or not, we work at NPD a lot. We come down here, so we're kind of all over the place. But yeah, like Detective
Never,
Carpenter
like,
said, we're
y'all for real, the FBI group.
That's
Yeah.
what this says at least, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not trying to be funny, but this is the first time I've ever even seen an FBI agent in real life.
We get that reaction from most of us.
No, because it's like,
Yeah,
am I in
a
a
lot.
movie right now? Y'all sure y'all not punking
don't-
or pranking me or something?
Yeah, you don't need to let that
Yeah.
freak you out or anything.
Right.
And again, we
Yeah.
do work, so we work on a task force with MPD quite a bit, so
I'm
we are
gonna
out with...
put my arm like this just to stretch it out. I don't want you to think I'm doing nothing crazy.
You good?
Just,
You good?
it leaves some pressure. Something
good.
right up in,
No, you're good. Yeah, like she was saying, don't let them get all, don't let them make you nervous. Okay. You'll be talking to me mostly and my partner a bit. No, they'll ask you a little too, but just trying to get to the bottom of everything. Look, you were found basically running around in the yard. You said you grab dude's phone. That's
No, I
really-
didn't grab it.
Well,
I asked
I
him.
don't mean you stole it. You
Oh, yeah,
asked
yeah.
for it and you made a call. And that's just kind of what I'm up here to start with and get the background about it. If you're willing to tell me just what you're doing in the yard, you know, because obviously we have the perception we got, like I told you. You know, they said, okay, they had us write this warrant, get some of your blood. But I have one side. So what am I missing? I'm missing Darrell's side, right? I don't know what created all this, why these people are calling us. And I can't really clear that up, or I'd like to clear that up, but the best way to clear it up is if, you know, you're willing to talk to me about it, okay? And that's just kind of what I'm here to sit down and chill with you about. We've been talking to you, what, about 4 hours now? And we've
Probably
been pretty,
longer.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool. It's been
Probably
pretty laid
longer.
back, so I'm looking to keep it that way. I'm not looking to pull any fast ones on you. That's why I've been straight with you to that point. I'm going to keep doing that now, right? Darrell, is it Darrell? Do I have the spelling right?
Yes, sir.
And it's D. Edward, like full middle is Edward, right?
Yes, sir.
Brooks, Brooks.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And just verify your date of birth for me.
22182.
82. So you're 39?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Married at all?
No. As little as I am, I'm like, you ain't have to slam me.
Yeah. How many kids you got?
3.
3? How old are they?
18, 14, and 7.
18, 14, and 7. Yeah. What do
Yes.
they like to do?
My baby girls, they into everything that's going on right now. The TikTok, the,
Yeah.
the
Always on the phone,
Instagram.
right?
They always dance and making video. My oldest daughter just started high school,
Yeah.
and my baby girl she just started the first grade. So
So they could
my
all like,
son is the oldest. My girls are the youngest.
so they could like build a computer, but can't normally talk like we know how to, right? So you're born in Milwaukee?
Actually, Detroit.
Detroit.
Yes,
Okay, so
sir.
living in Milwaukee now?
Yes, sir. Grew up here. We left Detroit when I was I don't even think I was walking and talking yet. So,
Okay.
Milwaukee's home, Wisconsin's home, born and raised.
Okay. Not working right now, right?
No, not at the moment.
What do you do when you're working? What do you like consider your job?
The last job I just had, I was working at a sheet metal place.
Okay.
You know, basically just they would have like these like hook things, like you just basically it's strenuous because you got to do a lot of lifting and it's a lot of heavy lifting, but you basically just hanging these pieces on these hooks and they're going through the thing, they're steaming them, painting them, then they
Okay.
come back around and then you just box them up and load them.
So you're not married?
No,
You have a girlfriend?
yeah,
You live with her?
no.
What's her name? Your girlfriend's name?
Her name is Erica Patterson.
E-R, how does she spell it?
Erika.
P-A,
Yeah, Patterson.
okay, and it's 4014 North 19th Street in Milwaukee. Do I have the right address?
Yes, sir.
Is that an apartment or a house?
It's a house.
Okay. What's the zip code there?
53209.
Okay. And last grade you completed in school?
12th.
Grade? Okay. Graduated high school?
Yes, sir.
What school did you go to in Milwaukee?
Riverside.
Riverside?
Yes, sir. Milwaukee Riverside Tigers. I see you smile. You know about Riverside, man?
I heard things.
We kicked y'all butt in football.
It was West Dallas.
Oh
I don't
no.
think we played Riverside.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I appreciate all the cooperation and all the good dialogue we've had, you know, to this point, Darrell. You know, being that you're sitting here and you know, I had some handcuffs on you before and all that jazz.
Absolutely.
You familiar with your legal rights?
Yes,
Have
I
you ever
have.
had those read to you before?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So as you can see, they're written on this paper. So because, you know, if I was sitting here and talking to you on your couch, we wouldn't have to worry about this. But because you're here and not in your home, it's kind of a thing I got to read to you. Okay. And again, it's just something I got to read to you before I kind of get your side, or hopefully get your side here, and love to hear your side. I'd like to know what Darrell has to say about, okay, you know, we got some people calling us saying this, you know, he said, you made utterance before. No, I wasn't driving. Someone thought you might have been. He had to get that warrant. He ended up calling a guy just to use his phone, kind of loitering around and just, how you ended up kind of being there. That's what they say.
No. I was gonna say I knocked on his door to use his phone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, but it probably wasn't him that called because he got his phone, but someone was concerned about something. So just trying to figure out what's going on down in that neighborhood. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Darrell.
He kind of, like I said, that wasn't probably the best, but I was just like, I need to get an Uber.
Yep.
I have money on my Cash App card.
Yep.
So I'm not trying to rob anybody.
Sure.
I'm not trying to break it and obviously you can tell I'm not drunk. I'm not, under the influence of anything. So
Okay. All right.
so basically what it was.
Okay. All right. In regards to these, Darrell, then, do you understand that you have the right to remain silent? Just answer everything with a yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then I just write down your reply. Do you understand if you give up that right, anything you say may be used against you in court?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand you have the right to consult with an attorney and have an attorney present during any questioning?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand if you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided to you by the court?
Yes, sir.
Understanding the above rights, Darrell, are you willing to speak with me, us, primarily me? I'm the one that's going to be doing most of the talking probably.
I just want to know a little bit more about what's going on. Just a little bit, because
Like I told you, I know very little. I just know that, you're down in this neighborhood, someone called, they didn't know what you were doing down there and things like that. So I got limited from their side, but I'm looking to see, what you have to say about it. I'm looking to see, maybe the caller was just on some BS down there. I don't know. I don't know. But I can't really show the court that if I don't have, if I haven't talked to you. So that's why I'm here, just to kind of see what you got to say about it. Get your side of it. Running around a neighborhood's not the end of the world. It's not a huge deal.
Right.
You know?
Right. Unfortunately, I wouldn't have had to do that if I made better decisions with women.
Yeah.
But not gonna point the finger.
Sure.
I'm a grown man. I make my own decisions, so I'm not gonna point the finger at nobody. I just didn't think.
Didn't think, yeah.
What the hell?
You willing to speak with me, Darrell?
Not right now.
So, was a decision made to speak with Mr. Brooks the following day?
Objection. Being called that name, leading the witness.
The objections are overruled. The witness may answer.
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Now, when you spoke with the defendant on the 21st, what did you have some general information as to casualties from the crate?
Yes, I did.
What information did you have at that point?
At that point, not all the information was in yet, but I knew, as I stated in previous testimony, our emergency department was very full. I knew there were significant injuries to many people. I knew some were deceased. I did not know the exact number at that time.
You had approximately another couple minutes of conversations with Mr. Brooks before you called it a night. What was the vibe that you got from him during those couple minutes?
Objection. I don't consent to being called that name. It's leading the witness.
The objection's overruled. You may answer.
I would say friendly. I think when you heard the clip there, Mr. Brooks jokes about Riverside and football. The individual he was talking to at that time was Detective Stern, as you can't obviously see him in the video. I could sense, and I believe you can hear it in Mr. Brooks's voice in that clip, the FBI put him on edge. It was unusual to see them. I could sense the nervousness. He did transition as I talked to him more throughout that clip into a more normal conversational tone again. But when I was speaking with Mr. Brooks casually throughout the night, that was the type of tone he had with us. It was very friendly, and he seemed, when it came to myself and Detective Stern, very comfortable speaking with us.
Now, you had stated your initial intent was to talk to him about loitering in the area that he was arrested. Do you recall that?
Objection, speculative.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
Yes, I do.
Did Mr. Brooks at all talk to you about the loitering in terms of what the focus of your investigation was that night?
Objection, I don't consent to being called that name, leading the witness.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
Yes, the statements he made in there, about, being in the area because he needed an Uber. He says more, to us about not knowing the area of Waukesha. He doesn't know the streets, things of that nature, and he just needed an Uber to get home. That was his reasoning for being down there, and he stuck to that reasoning the entire time.
So did you return to the City of Muskego Police Department the next day, November 22nd, to speak with Mr. Brooks again?
Yes, I
Objection,
did.
I don't consent to being called that name.
Overruled. You may answer.
Yes, I did.
Did you return with anyone?
I returned with Detective Ben Stern.
Now, what was the plan for this interview? You had said the previous day the intent was to kind of start very low, just looking at loitering. Did you have a plan going into the interview on the 22nd?
Objection, leading.
Overruled.
I did.
What was that plan?
So the plan was different from the prior day. So the interview with Mr. Brooks on the 22nd didn't start till about a little after noon that afternoon, 12:11 p.m. to be exact. Around 8 a.m. that morning, there was a briefing with all officers that were involved where I learned some additional information. One of the things I learned that morning was that there was a domestic incident that had occurred between Daryl Brooks and Erica Patterson, something I was not aware of when I was with Mr. Brooks during the evening hours of November 21st. There was also much more information at this point in regards to the parade incident. As I had stated in my earlier testimony, it was very, very chaotic that first night between radio traffic and what I could hear going on down in the downtown. As I had stated, it was really unlike anything I've ever been involved in. But by Tuesday morning, the 22nd, we had narrowed it down to basically just Mr. Brooks, that there were not 4 people in this car. We were looking at one man. So he was now a suspect in the domestic abuse and driving in the parade. So I chose to begin the interview on the less serious matter, that being the charge that he was looking at with Erica Patterson.
Now, you said Tuesday the 22nd.
Monday, excuse me.
Okay, thank you. And what do you try to do when you're meeting with someone? Do you try to establish any type of rapport with that person? Is that helpful? How did you approach this interview on the 22nd?
Objection, leading.
I'll sustain as to the form of the question. It was actually compound. If you could rephrase.
How did you approach the questioning of Mr. Brooks on the 22nd?
Objection, I don't consent to being called that name.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
So when I began to speak with Daryl Brooks on the 22nd, I began with some very light conversation. I explained to Mr. Brooks that I had more information from the previous day. I explained to Mr. Brooks that his girlfriend at that time, Erica Patterson, had made some domestic allegations against him that were physical in nature. I didn't indicate to him exactly what she said he did, but that there were physical allegations. I explained to Mr. Brooks that there's always 2 sides to a story, and that, a lot of times in my experience as an officer, it can be about perspective. There's side A, there's side C, so to speak, and maybe B, somewhere in the middle, can be your truth. And I basically just implored him to be honest. I touched on the fact we had talked extensively the night before about things such as him enjoying baseball, him having watched the Packer game, him having been disappointed by the result of the Packer game. And in situations such as interrogations, I think it's always important to let a person know that obviously I'm an officer, but I'm a human being, as are they. And you want to try to not let them see that barrier and feel comfortable talking to you. I think in any interpersonal relationship in society, there needs to be rapport. And I try to establish that before getting into the specific details of the crime at hand.
Now, you said that you had a briefing prior to going back to the City of Muskego Police Department.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have, you said you had more information about the parade incident and also the domestic incident, correct?
Correct.
Objection leading.
Overruled. His answer may stand. Next question.
Did you know at that time, prior to speaking with Mr. Brooks, how many people had died during the parade incident?
Objection leading.
Overruled.
Yes, I did.
And how many people was that at that time?
Objection leading.
Overruled.
At that point, it was 5.
So did you confirm, again, personal information for the defendant before starting the interview?
Yes, I did.
Did you read him the Miranda form like you did the night before?
Yes, I did.
And he indicated he had children?
Objection leading.
It's background foundational. It's the witness may answer. The objection's overruled.
Yes, he did.
How many children did he have?
Objection leading.
Overruled.
3.
And you read each of the 5 rights that are listed on this form?
Yes, I did.
And did he agree to speak with you?
Yes, ma'am, he did.
Okay. I would ask that Exhibit 174 be published to the jury.
Objection. Relevancy.
The exhibit's already been received. Noting your objection, it's overruled. Permission to publish is granted.
Now, as that form is coming up in the jury box, just for the jurors to see, when you initially had contact with the defendant that morning, did you verify if he had been fed?
Objection. Speculative.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
Yes, I did.
And had he been fed dinner the night before, breakfast that morning, lunch that afternoon?
Objection. Hearsay.
Overruled.
Yes, he had.
And was he complaining about any physical?
Objection. Hearsay.
Overruled.
Yes, he was continuing to complain about, excuse me, he was continuing to complain about the injury to his right shoulder, which he still at that time was asserting occurred when officers at the time of his arrest body slammed him.
Now, with regard to the second interview, the one that took place on November 22nd, was that recorded?
Yes, it was.
And would it be fair to say that recorded interview was 4 hours, 55 minutes, and 30 seconds?
Objection. Hearsay.
Overruled.
Yes, that would be correct.
Okay. And you've had the opportunity to listen to that interview?
Yes, I have.
I'm going to go through that interview with you. I'm not going to play the whole 5 hours, but just portions of that. I'll stop it during specific clips that I'm providing to Ms. Gussie, and we'll talk about it. Is that all right?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay.